once again, I'm live coming in. Been a couple of days since no, I actually on last night, but I had to leave because the guy had some problems going on. Talked to him, but to him his blessing, keep going like I'm going, so keep doing what I'm doing. So that's what I did. So it is what it is, right? You know. So it's hurricane season. Here we come with Hurricane Erin. Right? So very interesting how this hurricane keep popping up, right? So this is 20-year, will be 20-year anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. So what's crazy is might have been a 20-year anniversary, right? I just find it kind of like interesting that they're bringing this up now, right? But it is what it is, right? Anniversaries come with dates and times and all that, right? So it is what it is. So, found out Virginia may be in the crosshairs. And if that's true, it is what it is. But at the same time, mandatory evacuation orders in Outer Banks.
Erin racing along the East Coast. North Carolina declaring a state of emergency. High surf and rip current alerts now posted from Florida to the Northeast. The storm now a Category 2 hurricane with winds up to 105 miles per hour. Its track running parallel to the coast, getting close enough to potentially cause serious damage. Dangerous surf already hitting the Carolinas. The hurricane expected to produce waves up to 20 feet high and a storm surge up to 4 feet, possibly flooding some highways. Residents and tourists in the Outer Banks under mandatory evacuation orders. Heavy rain and strong winds expected by tomorrow night. New Jersey posting red flags along its beaches, warning about dangerous rip currents over the next several days. New York City closing its beaches to swimmers for the next 2 days. Ginger Z with the track in a moment, but first, ABC's Victor Okendo leads us off in North Carolina.
Tonight, churning waves and double red flags. Alerts from Florida to Massachusetts. Erin now making that northward turn up the East Coast. Mandatory evacuations in effect for the Outer Banks, where Erin's surge plus high tide could leave residents and visitors stranded.
We're right along Highway 12. This is the main artery in the Outer Banks. It's common for waves to come crashing up over this dune and flood the highway. So what this front end loader is doing is pushing up some of that sand to try to fortify the dune.
John Betzker moved here from New Jersey 3 months ago. His family was supposed to come visit him this week.
When this alarm came, those plans got canceled. So I decided it's just better to go home and visit them for a while and come back when it's all over.
After more than 60 people were rescued off Wrightsville Beach Monday, authorities restricting swimming. Many more towns following suit. Air Force hurricane hunters tracking Erin, throwing ocean buoys out of a C-130 to gather data. The massive system expanding, now more than 600 miles across. Those outer bands will lash the coast with tropical storm force winds up to 4 feet of storm surge and waves up to 20 feet.
If a large wave knocks you off your feet, it will take you out into the water and potentially out past that shore break. And if you get far enough into the trough, it can pull you out past the bar.
On the Jersey Shore, where there have been multiple drownings already this summer, the governor is worried.
This is no time to be complacent. I would just say to you flat out, don't go in the water.
Mary, here in Kill Devil Hills, the red flags are up and the surf is definitely getting stronger. Swells at about 3 to 5 feet right now, but come Wednesday into Thursday, could be up to 20 feet with a dangerous mix of high surf and high tides. It's going to be ugly. North Carolina's governor has declared a state of emergency. Mary?
We see those large waves growing behind you, Victor. Stay safe there. Thank you. The latest track for Hurricane Erin coming out a short time ago, and 2 other systems are now beginning to take shape. So let's get right to ABC's chief meteorologist, Ginger Z. Hey, Ginger.
Hey, Mary, Erin is about 600 miles south-southeast of Cape Hatteras. It's moving north-northwest at 10 miles per hour, so it's closing in. And by tomorrow, you'll start to see those tropical storm force winds from south to north. Those tropical storm watches now include parts of Delmarva Peninsula to Virginia Beach. I want to time it because the closest it gets happens on Thursday morning. You can see it here on the Futurecast. But why we believe in have the entire time that it will then kick off to the north and east is partly because of that stationary front. It's going to ride close enough to the coast, though, that it's like a bulldozer pushing water, even when it's at some points hundreds of miles from the shore. And that's why we have the high rip current risk, the destructive waves for the entire coast. And coastal flood alerts are already popping, too. We will be done with the storm by the time the weekend's over. But let me focus in on ground zero, and that's the Outer Banks, where you'll see those 15 to 20 plus foot waves. They're using really strong wording: extreme beach and coastal damage, roads impassable, prolonged periods of time. You can see there 8 to 12 foot waves are possible, not just on the south side of there, but also from the Jersey Shore. Erosion possible up through Long Island, Rhode Island, even Nantucket. And I do want to mention there are those 2 waves we're watching, a very busy Atlantic as we're still on the ride up toward peak of hurricane September 10th. The next name, Mary, is Fernan.
And we know you'll be watching those closely as well. Ginger, thank you.
The Tempur-Pedic breeze makes sleep feel
to Maine, and it comes at a time when so many
We begin tonight with Hurricane Erin racing along the East Coast. North Carolina.
Testing, test, 1, 2, 3, test.
Before the alarms sound, the
Test, 1, 2.
So this is Virginia. Emergency agencies urge preparations as Hurricane Erin approaches East Coast.
2, 3, test.
before the alarms sound, the emergency runs to the store, and sometimes even before the forecast. You'll get messages like these.
3, 2, 1.
A public service announcement from the organizations dedicated to public safety.
One thing that makes as we prepare for disasters is that state, local, and nonprofit groups come together.
The Virginia Department of Emergency Management, the Red Cross, and the Richmond Ambulance Authority.
Not only is it a time for organizations like us to prepare, it is the perfect time to make sure your family is ready.
Local, state, and national organizations, which you usually see in the same spot after disaster strikes, coming together Tuesday for a public service announcement as Hurricane Erin approaches the east. While its potential impact remains up in the air, Mark Tenyo with RAA says taking these warnings seriously could keep you and others out of danger.
And that's really what this comes down to, is we don't want to put our folks and emergency workers at risk in a situation where it was easily preventable.
Jason Elmore says that means staying informed and taking lessons from previous disasters like Hurricane Helene last August.
People a lot of times think of hurricanes and they only think of the coast, but we want people to realize that flooding is a huge impact, especially in the Commonwealth of Virginia with these tropical systems and our inland areas, whether it's in Central Virginia as well as Southwest Virginia.
It's why warehouses like these, which hold critical stores of supplies, keep the Red Cross ready to provide relief at a moment's notice. Jonathan McNamara says you can do the same in your own home, no matter the size or path of the incoming storm.
While Hurricane Erin, some forecasts are saying may take more of an out-to-sea approach, the steps you take to prepare for this event are really going to power you through the remainder of hurricane season and the rest of the year.
The best thing that anyone can do is make a plan, make an emergency kit, and stay informed.
In addition to listening to this PSA from the Red Cross, VDEM, and the Richmond Ambulance Authority, there's another way you can stay informed, and that's by sticking with our website, WTVR.com, where we will be monitoring the progress of Hurricane Erin as it comes closer to the coast. For CBS 6, I'm AJ Nwoko.
All right, so that's that. But yeah, so the storm could hit Virginia. I would say if it's Richmond area, probably some flooding, but maybe not. I'm not sure. Thing about it is, I don't like when they break these things. It'd be mass panic and everybody moves to the store, and it gets kind of hectic here. But it is what it is. We got a lot of really crazy stuff happening this week.
You may have seen them pop up in your area.
I noticed it about 2 months before school got out that they started putting cameras up.
Whether in a school zone, work zone, or high-risk area, speed cameras are being installed more and more across the Commonwealth.
I hope, there's nothing that comes from this, that everybody follows the speed limit and traffic continues moving. But unfortunately, that's not what we have seen so far.
The speed monitoring system was one of the main topics discussed at Tuesday's Virginia State Crime Commission meeting.
Virginia enacted a statute in 2020 that authorizes state and local law enforcement agencies to operate speed cameras in specific locations.
State legislators heard from various entities, including Virginia State Police. When a locality is looking to install speed cameras, they report to VSP, who oversees the installation and maintenance of the cameras.
The state police is technically the hub.
Part of the data given by VSP shows the number of localities using speed cameras across the state is growing significantly. In 2022, only 5 jurisdictions had them.
In 2023, we had 13 reporting agencies, and in 2024, we had 39 reporting agencies. We expected that the agencies reporting for 2025 are approximately 50 at this time.
Virginia Department of Transportation spoke on the impact of speed cameras in work zones, noting that 45% of fatal crashes in Virginia are speed related. This number higher than the national average of 29%.
When VDOT sets up a work zone, we often set up concrete barriers or reduce the width of a lane, close a lane, or transition a lane. All of these factors require additional driver attention. And when you're speeding, that reduces the amount of reaction time.
It's a poor combination that can harm or kill those working and driving. So as the number of these cameras continue to grow across the state, Vision Zero, a national nonprofit focused on traffic safety, gave recommendations on where and when speed cameras should be installed, some of which include installing them on streets with cars speeding more than 11 miles over the limit, streets with a history of speed-related crashes, and in neighborhoods with vulnerable users. All of this aiming to ensure equity across all communities.
These strategies to manage speeds Not only limit the potential for disproportionate impacts, but we also know that they are the most effective.
In January, VSP released a study showing that violations caught on speed cameras across the state brought in almost $34 million last year. Now, I want to note that it's not listed how that money is used, but it does vary based on locality, and we will have that study listed at WTVR.com. For CBS 6 News, I'm Joy Foltz.
Testing, test, one.
Did you know people are 90% more likely to eat breakfast?
It's about
Today's top stories and your storm tracker.
a lot of this happened over the weekend. What's going on, man?
What's going on? What's up, man?
Not much, man. You doing all right?
I'm living, man. Living the scheme, you know what I'm saying? Living the scheme, you feel me?
Yeah, I was on. Matter of fact, yeah, I sent you a link last night. I was on, but I had got off kind of quick because my boy supposed to DJ for him. Went DJ for his people Saturday, but his mom had died yesterday at 72, excuse me. So when I heard that, I kind of just got off or whatever because I needed to talk to him. But he said he told me to go ahead with the programming schedule. So I'm like, all right, bet. So he told me I could go on with everything like it was done. So I told him I bet. And that was that. He said something about it. So sometimes you just you have to figure out what's up. But yeah, he said she died in the hospital, some procedure or something like that. So yeah. So had to fix that. So talked to him and stuff. So I said I just come back on tonight after I got all that straight. So, now I got this for you. We had a lot of stuff going on Sunday here. Matter of fact, they closed the restaurant yesterday for a mental health day. As a matter of fact, I was talking to my boy about AJ about it. They got one of his friends got shot or something. So I'll play this for you.
Forecast in the first 8 minutes. 8 News starts now.
We as a community need to do something about it. We don't need to let this one slip past. Not just another time.
Tonight, community advocates are weighing in after a violent weekend across Richmond with 7 people shot in 2 separate incidents yesterday. You're watching 8 News at 11. I'm Eric Phillips.
And I'm Heather Hope. One shooting happened outside of Croker Spot in Manchester. That's where we find 8 News reporter
Croker Spot, that's a fish restaurant. Go there quite a bit. Good fish, whatever. Guess you can call it soul food, I guess, but they have a lot of they've been black-owned business for a long time. They used to have one on Lee Street, but they moved that to South Side, and then they got another one in Petersburg. They give you a lot of fish for about $20 Friday. They usually, if you get a 2-piece, they usually give you 3 or 4 or something like that. I go there sometime. I get some fish. They give you cornbread, which I don't eat cornbread, so I have to get it to somebody. But they give you fish. They got a lot of stuff, man. I mean, they sell cake. Probably about slice cake might cost about $7, but yeah, I mean that was on the same block where AJ's restaurant, and they moved him on the back street. He's back on Bainbridge, yeah, they got the shooting. They didn't get the shooting at Kroger Spot. They got the shootout in the middle of the street. And, people from that restaurant got hit. So yesterday they closed the restaurant to give the workers a mental health day. That's what happened.
Lena and Sarah, what
happened a mental health day because somebody shot the restaurant up?
They didn't shoot the restaurant. People got shot coming out.
Or coming out. So that's why they're having it, because people got
They
shot.
had it yesterday. They was back open today. Yeah.
You tell us.
Yesterday morning, 4 people were shot in Richmond's South Side, leaving 1 person dead. It was followed by another shooting right here on East 11th Street outside of Croker Spot. The restaurant was closed today, but the owner tells me the community is shaken up.
It was very heart-wrenching for me.
Croker Spot owner Sharita McGowan says she was out of town Sunday night when she received a call from an employee telling her there was a shooting in the neighborhood.
I fainted. I was with a bunch of friends and I just passed out. I just started asking, is my staff okay? You know, did anyone get hurt? Were they customers? And what happened?
It's a question Richmond police are still working to answer. Officers say they were called to 11th Street around 7 p.m. Sunday, where they found 2 men and 1 woman suffering from gunshot wounds. McGowan says she believes 1 or 2 of those people had just left her business.
My heart goes out to them because you shouldn't go and have a nice dinner somewhere and then have to worry about being injured or shot or killed when you're leaving just to go to your car.
And it wasn't the only shooting in Richmond over the weekend. Police say 4 people were shot in the city's Southwood neighborhood early Sunday morning, the same area raided by immigration enforcement earlier this year. It's prompting community advocates like Charles Willis to speak out.
They're already running scared and rampant about the fact that they believe that
All right. I know him pretty well. Actually, to tell you the truth, you've ever known him since a little boy. But check this out. Remember a couple weeks ago, I told you I was in a neighborhood and I said I fell asleep or something?
Mm-hmm.
That Southwood neighborhood is the neighborhood I used to play at ball as a kid. I tell you, they got a lot of, I tell you, they got a bodega over there now. They took over the whole damn fucking apartment complex, right? But somebody, they got a shooting out over there the other day because I was there. I wasn't there that day, but I was there a couple weeks ago. But I hadn't been over there in years. But they got a shooting. They used to rob people back there when I used to go over there. But that was different. But you know, I mean, like I think it happened on Clarkson. If it happened on Clarkson, that's the street with the houses. But they might have some apartments up there because up and down Clarkson and stuff like that. But that's a whole Hispanic apartment community. They took that thing over years ago, man. Yeah. So here we go.
cases coming after so many families. And I'm not being funny, but then to have tragedy like that within the community is very sad.
Officers say 1 person died in the shooting and 2 are in the hospital with life-threatening injuries. In total, 7 people were shot on Sunday alone.
We as a community need to do something about it. We don't need to let this one slip past, not just another time.
Now again, a Croker Spot was closed today. The owner saying she wanted to give her employees a mental health day to recover, but it will be open again tomorrow. If you know anything about either of these incidents, you're asked to contact police. Live in Richmond tonight.
Yeah, so that happened. A lot of that happened on Sunday. Matter of fact, both of that shit happened on Sunday, matter of fact. Now the crazy part, you gonna laugh. I went past both of them areas on Sunday, riding past, take my homeboy home, and I rode to AJ's shop. So when I made a left, I passed I was right at the intersection where the restaurant is at. People were walking into the restaurant to start setting up because usually people start walking there about 10 and they open at 11. So I might even roll past there. I know I rode past there Saturday night. It's packed. It's always packed on the weekends. Sometimes you have to reserve, sometimes you don't, but they always have a nice, and they got good food and stuff. They're a staple of the area, so kind of crazy, but I don't know what happened right there. But yeah, they did get the shooting right there.
It's always, it's always something, man.
So now this is something else right here.
Watch as the suspect with the green backpack sneaks up on his first victim, the woman in black. He appears
attempts to throw her to the ground, then stabbing spree at a Michigan Walmart. The 360-degree video paused and rotated by authorities in Traverse City. The next target, this man in blue. The suspect, identified as 42-year-old Bradford Gilly, then appears to jab his right hand at that man in the jacket who goes flying. Moments later, you see Gilly run left into the pharmacy before appearing to stab someone in frozen foods. This man attacked by a display of cherries. In an exclusive interview with NBC News, victim Aaron Badeau says he was shopping with his wife and 4 kids when he was attacked.
I thought I was being punched. And after the third one, I noticed that, okay, this isn't a punch. I'm being stabbed.
As a
That's how
dad,
you said third.
as you're being stabbed, are you just thinking about your
What's up with this 3, bro? Come on. No, seriously, man. What's up with all the, bro, these numbers, I think these numbers are coded, bro.
Well, I got something to say, man.
This is a psyop, so we got this covered, right? That's what it's showing to me. What's up with all this shit, bro?
Well, I'm trying to find out how you stab them many people that quick. And ain't nobody do nothing.
That's what I'm saying. And aren't there usually store security a lot of times in these stores, man?
Yeah, but sometimes they be at the front. But I don't know, man. That's just kind of weird, though. You know, just stab motherfuckers like that.
And what is his motive?
We gotta figure that out.
But look, the media. You notice how they're not calling him a thug. They're not calling him a crazed, brazen, sicko, psychopath. They don't call him. They don't use none of them code words when it comes out of white people, because look, that's not the narrative. The narrative is when white people do shit, we have to say there's something with mental health, because remember, normal, everyday white motherfuckers are not evil according to these people, to their narrative. So, in order for them to do something evil and crazy like that, something has to be wrong with them. They have to have mental illness. That's all that is, bro. You notice that? And plus, they don't make money off white. They don't make money off white exploitation. You notice that? The only time they make money off exploitation is when it comes down to black people. You notice that?
Mm-hmm.
You beep that? There's no money in it. So when a white motherfucker does something, guess what you got to do? And look at how many times these white people do weird, crazy shit like this. It ain't the same energy. The media does not call them. And where's JD Vance and them at?
I ain't heard that.
You notice, look, I'm going to point something out. You notice when white people when it's white on white crime, there's no outrage, right? But when it's a black motherfucker that does something, white motherfucker, oh, it's big time outrage. So you mean to tell me a white person's life only matters when they're victims to a black person? Damn! Whoa! Bam! 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 BJ, it only matters when a person is assaulted or killed or whatever the heck, right? When it only matters when a black person does it to the white person. When a white person does it to one of the white person, it don't matter. You notice that? And they don't never label this white on white crime. Do you notice that?
I see.
That lets you know white on white crime, black on black crime is a psyop. That's just some bullshit, some buzzword shit to make more money off and to exploit and make it seem like we're just so dysfunctional, bro. That's all it is. And they don't never come with solutions when it comes down to this shit. Just like Trump, look, just like Trump and this fucking DC National Guard shit. What's the solutions, bro? That's the solution. But see, that lets you know this is Hungarian dialect, because if these motherfuckers really if it wasn't no psyop, but these motherfuckers really gave a fuck, they would really come with a real solution. You know what you do, BJ? When you're a politician, you somewhat give a fuck, you put money behind it. You put bills behind it, right? You put resources behind it. See, America is low-key jealous of China in a way, kind of, but at the same time, America does that shit just to scapegoat, and because they know that they're not going to build this economy back. They know that they're not going to have these jobs come back from overseas. They know that. So what they do is, they act jealous of China, and they say all this crazy shit and blame China and blame everybody else instead of blaming themselves. Why are we not blaming Ronald Reagan? Oh, because my bad, he's a Republican. My bad. You see that?
I see it, man.
If that was a Democrat, look. If that was a Democrat, we would still be talking about him, dude. We're still talking about Bill Clinton, even though we should. And we're still talking about Barack Obama, even though we should. Why are we not talking about what Ronald Reagan did, though? Ronald Reagan, look. See, this is the thing Trump is doing now, and Ronald Reagan kind of did, right? Ronald Reagan shut down all the homeless spots. Look at it. Ronald Reagan what up? Ronald Reagan shut down all the homeless spots, and then he gave the amnesty bill for all these motherfuckers to come over here. Now look what Trump is doing. Trump he's not bringing back any of these motherfucking mental health spots, and he's deporting the Mexicans, the immigrants. So it's like none of this shit is. Deporting the Mexicans it will help in ways, but a lot of this shit is really, they know it's not really going to help infrastructure. They know it's really not going to help the economy. They know it.
Now, how you doing, Doc Boss? He's talking about people in Washington love it. That's actually a mixed bag because the girl that come on my show, Doaz, actually was out there. She was actually out there tonight. Some people say they like it, but a lot of people say they don't as well because of the implications of it. Like, you even have residents, some residents say crime is down, some people say stuff, but it actually seems like also they say in juvenile, so that could be part of a crime bill initiative as well.
See, that's on black people though. You know why that's on black people in DC? Because why is black people are protesting, but black mothers and fathers should be out there protesting right now, bro. Because now you're coming for our kids. But see, kids, that's why kids are kids, because they don't fucking know better, and they're kids, and they do stupid shit. Constantly.
Hold on. I know. Yeah, Doc Boss. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that. Yeah, you see on social media, but you look at it's talking about social media, and I'm just saying she went out there with her. She was on YouTube, but she was actually out there recording live. Yeah. Okay. So Frank, he's saying protest. I will say protests can be counterproductive at times, but she was out there with yeah. Well, that's the point. That's a lot of these staged. That's why I say you don't know who's in and who's not. But she was out there with her camera and stuff, and she recorded out for like 2 hours. She was out there tonight outside the White House, and the first thing she said also about it was that, and I had sent you the video, Frank. She said that if this is the National Guard out there was no media out there. So if there's no media out there, and this is supposed to be the big thing, why wasn't the media out there?
Facts. But then my thing is, so that's the solution when it comes out of black motherfuckers, right? National Guard, policing, and all this, which there are not communities, but our places of where we live are already over policed any fucking way. So, but the thing is, why is there no? But when it's white people, then there's solutions, just like that bullshit opioid crisis. Then they seen that these motherfuckers overdosing and dying, all this shit. Now they want solutions and they want medical rehabilitation centers and all this bullshit. But in the 80s, when it comes down to crack era, there was no solution. My bad. The only solution was fucking locking your ass up. That was the only solution, right? There was no rehab. Oh, let's give these people rehab.
Well, it could be the solution now, because if you heard what Justice Janine Farrow said, that was on Fox News, she said it seemed to be a lot of juveniles doing this.
So yeah, they're trying to see that. And see, this sounds like the Central Park 5 all over again, bro. That's what I thought about the other day. This is some Central Park 5 shit. You want to target black motherfuckers and shit, black kids. You don't want to give them no solutions. You don't want to give them no resource. Black kids, black people, no resources, right? See, if the people don't have resources, the kids aren't going to have resources. Going to be fucked up too, bro. That's not how that works. You don't not give people resources, and the kids are just going to come out fucking perfectly fine. It don't work like that. See, a lot of our people, man, we got to stop going with these white narrative. We got to stop. You know what I'm saying? We got to cut this shit, bro.
No, I got you. I mean, it's what it is. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, me, Doc Boss, I look at it, all the police is kind of on some BS anyway in a lot of these areas. I mean, that's why in Richmond, Virginia, they putting up all these speed cameras. They ain't got to give a ticket. The speed camera give you a ticket. Work zones, all this other crap. But to answer the point, I mean, people, some of these influencers put that stuff online and they try to go with the narrative. But so people are out there in DC, and some people say they're not for it. Some people say it is what it is. Some people say they don't care. The other groups say, that the crime is not what they're making it seem. I mean, you might have some stuff going on, but it ain't that big to bring in no National Guard. So you got a mixed bag here, but I mean, when I was looking at her video, and it's one of them was 2 hours, and one of them was one night she talked to people, and it was a small group out there, people out there protesting. But it was obviously she was talking to a white gentleman out there, and he said that it wasn't necessary. So, and a matter of fact, half of DC is gentrified anyway. So, I mean, I go to DC every now and then. I mean, my buddy went to DC for Howard University the other day, and they couldn't get it past Quantico after 6 o'clock or whatever, stuck in traffic. But they have a lot of accidents up there and stuff like that. I mean, you know, homeless people used to walk up to the club line and try to borrow money or get money from you. But a lot of people a lot of visitors go to DC. They travel. Somebody who went to the art thing the other day and stuff like that. So, I mean, tourists go there all the time. So, I mean, hey, if you say crime there, I mean, hey, the thing about it is I would say this about the crime. If you're saying that, right? They said that it took them to attack a Doge employee for them to start doing this.
Damn.
How do you know that's real? I would say that. So they're using the excuse for them attacking because if that's the case, you did it the whole time. Me personally wasn't even DC because they got the 740 Act. My thing is when they say they're trying to do it in other cities around the U.S. That was my thing. DC, they can do that. That is not a
you said a lot, and you know what? You just proved that to psyop because if it's gentrified out here in California, the gentrified areas are the crime fucking drops fucking 50%. So that lets me know right there's not crime like that because it's gentrified. You see what I'm saying? That makes sense? So if it's gentrified, where the fuck's the crime coming from, dude? And once you in the gentrified areas, the cops, there's more police, there's more fucking cameras, there's Starbucks is on every fucking corner. So so they're not, I mean, they're gonna go out of their way, and white people are gonna go out of their way to advance.
I will put it this way. In my estimate, when I went to DC, my boy living in Houston, we were to DC. We go to DC all the time. You know, when he came home to go out there and with him, I ride with him and stuff. And DC club don't close 3-4 o'clock in the morning. We walk to the car like nothing going on. We walk to the car, we won't worry about nothing like that. So,
damn, 3 or 4 in the morning. Right. Yeah, it's just see, and they talking about the police. Oh, the police, man. The government, the federal government is not going to do shit about the police, bro. The federal government is going to fund the police. Like this, I don't see how that's a good. So, oh man, like they complain, oh, our police is this and that. You dumb motherfucker. Go to motherfucking City Hall. Go to your motherfucking congressman and tell them motherfuckers, bro. Go in numbers. Oh, I mean, I don't understand. Stop. Vote your fucking shit. I don't get it. Do something, bro. Don't besides protesting. There's ways of doing this shit. Get them from a political perspective, from a political angle. You see what I'm saying? But we ain't gonna do that though. We go, oh yeah. But see, it's all fake. Like you just said, a Doge. See, they picking and choosing. So a regular person's healthy, well-being and safety is not is less important than the motherfucking Doge employees' safety and well-being.
Well, there's a lot of.
All right. You see that point? You see my point?
I got you.
This motherfucker's name Big Balls. I'm not gonna call no motherfucker snotty nose punk ass motherfucking kid.
Hey, look, hold on a minute. Hold on. Can we read a guy? Look, you know, I try to make this stuff, you know, a little bit more, you know, try to get a knock out a whole lot of stuff one time. So that's all right. Because remember what I told you last week that I say school was starting, and I told you there was gonna be a shooting, a stabbing, something in school. Did I not say that?
We've been saying that.
All right.
Let me guess. Is this a school where they took out the phones? Is this a district where they took the phones away? Because I know that's in Texas, right?
Mom says we're on lockdown after son in frantic Texas after reported school stabbing.
Parents out here wondering, like everyone else, what is going on? They're getting frantic texts from their children who were inside the school when this happened. I'm here with Veronica. She's a mother. Tell me what your son texted you this morning.
It was about 11 o'clock. He texted me and just said, Mom, something's happening at school. We're on lockdown. So I said, okay, I'm coming. Right after that, I got a text from the school about 11:15. We're on lockdown, but don't come to the campus. I was already here.
Pause it for a second. Why would the school text you? How is the school going to text you, dude? The schools don't text. They call. Does that make sense? Why would they text? Let me text the student's mom. Like, anyway, keep going. My bad. That ain't made no sense. If that's the case, why didn't you go up to that motherfucker? You said your kid already texted you already. Why didn't you call the school? So if the kid already texted you, why would you wait for another? See, I don't know. Maybe I just overthink.
Yeah, you got a point. Yeah. Let me keep on going with this one.
I'm still getting no information from the school. I've gotten information more from my son than the school. They still aren't answering phone calls. They're still not letting us in the gate. So,
what went through your mind when you heard that another student was stabbed here on campus?
I mean, it's heartbreaking. Somebody sent their kid to school, and this is what's going on. I mean, it could have been mine. So.
And you said this is not an unfamiliar situation for you. Tell me.
Nope, this isn't something it happens quite often here at Maryville. Like, my son's been here since his freshman year, and his freshman year I got maybe 2 or 3 texts from him that something was happening in school. Last year as well, and I mean, we're 2 weeks into school, and this is what's already going on.
What was your son telling you? Is he scared? Is he nervous about what's happening?
I'm sure he's scared. You know, Mom, come get me. Are you coming? Are you here? And I just have to keep reassuring him I'm outside. You know, they're not letting me in. I'm outside. He's gone to the restroom, I think, twice and has called me. And I just have to keep telling him I'm out here. I'm outside and I'm waiting. As soon as I can get you, I will.
And he said classes are continuing as normal. What's going on inside the school right now?
That's what he said. He said he was at lunch, and he was like, lunch is over. And now
She's doing a whole lot of talking.
Why didn't they let her in? They didn't let her in, but then, so let me get this straight. They didn't let her in, but school remained business as usual, right? Why didn't they let her in there? And how long from the time that they didn't let her in to the time he said he was at lunch? You see what I'm saying? But see, lunch is 12 o'clock. 12:30, usually what, 12:30 at these schools. So a whole hour or something passed. And then he called her, and then he talked again and told her he was at lunch. Or text her, wherever the fuck. That don't even make no sense. I don't know. It just don't add up to me. You know, why would they not let, you would think, and if it's an isolated instance with 2 students, why wouldn't they let certain parents in the motherfucking school? That's bullshit, because that's not even true. You could be a parent, hey man, I need to talk to my son, or I need to talk to my kid. They go up to the office, they bring the kid up to the office, they talk whatever. That's how it usually works, bro. They make it seem like this is like, you feel me? Like this look like it's jail or something. You can't come in. Even in jail, you can have visits, bro. So you can't have a visit at a school? Damn. BJ, something don't make sense, bro. So in a jail, you could have a visit, but in school, and just you can't. In that particular time, nobody could. That's some bullshit, bro. I mean, what were they on there? Fire? Was it a drill? I mean, I don't get it though. It's like, what did they lock up down the whole school because there was one stabbing? I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't know. And she is doing a whole lot of talking, like you said, bro.
Dang. Well, yeah, she is doing like now. That's her. But I'm not gonna let her talk because
they're sending us to our 5th period, and that's just what usually happens. I mean, I know that after today, the school's going to send a text message to downplay what's happened today and not give us any information, just like they're not now. Nothing happened today.
We know that there's metal detectors here. You said that. So what kind of changes do you want to see made to improve
She could have went up
safety?
there, dude. Come on.
Well, I mean, the metal detectors have been there since last year. So, and last year we had.
That's not how it works, man. Come on, man. Now she going in on the school. Oh man, you know they never held us. Take accountability, this and that. What are you talking about? You feel what I'm saying? What is she talking about, bro? Like, why didn't you just go there and demand to see your kid, bro? Like, why didn't you pull your kid out for the day? Hey, I want to get my kid, you know what I'm saying? He's scared, I'm scared, this is an unfortunate situation, but I'm kind of scared right now. I would like to, excuse my kid from school today. You could do that. Why these parents be acting like they don't have no right? Like they be scared. Like, you know what I mean? You see what I'm saying, BJ?
Mm-hmm.
Look, they give the baby daddy hell, but kiss the fucking school's ass though. Don't want to cooperate with the baby daddy, cooperate with the school though. These motherfuckers ain't shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
But she's doing a lot of talking.
That's crazy. Mm. Yeah. Kind of crazy when you really think about it. But yeah.
Had the same incidents, things happening, you know, my son sending me these text messages, and I just don't know what else. It's like the school doesn't hear, you know, like this is going on. It's been going on. I don't know if they're going to make any changes because it doesn't seem that way. So we've actually had the conversation, me and my husband, that maybe it's time to move him schools, even though this is where he wants to be. It's his junior year, but for his safety, maybe it's just best.
And so you told me that you tried to get in here. What did they tell you when you tried to enter the campus?
He just told me I couldn't come in.
What kind of answers would you like to hear from the school?
Why not, though?
I just feel like there needs to be more communication. There isn't any at all. There isn't any. I've been calling the school for now an hour and 15 minutes and still no answers. No answers at all.
And will you plan on taking your son out as soon as they let you, even if it's before classes end for the day?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just waiting here for that gate to open for them to let me enter to take him, and that's that. And we will probably look into another school because this is just too much already.
Tell me why, you know, even after the campus told you not to come to school, to take your son out, why did you show up here and even stand across the street in this heat to be here with him?
Because that's my child. You know, I'm his mom. So, and even though he tells me like I'm okay, I'm not gonna be okay until I see him. That's it.
Have you guys just been texting back and forth, reassuring him?
I'm just texting him like, I'm still here, son. I'm outside. I'm coming. You know, as soon as they let me in, I'm going to be in there to get you. And, you know, he's asking me like, Mom, do you have your ID? I have it. I'm coming, you know, and he's gone to the restroom already twice. He's called me, Mom, I'm in class.
Whoa,
Mom,
pause
what
it.
are they saying? Mom, are they,
Pause it, bro. Why would he ask her if she had her ID? Why, bro? Is that the only way she can come into school, or how does that work? Do you need your ID? You need your ID to get your kids out of the school? How does that work? You see what I'm saying, BJ?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, dude. What you think? I don't know.
Yeah.
And she's the only one there. Like that's it. No other parents came up to that motherfucker. You think, right? You don't see no other camera, no other media up at that bitch. It's like,
Right. Yeah, well, shoot. Right. Let me play this one right here.
Weeks into a new school year, tragedy at a Phoenix high school. A student is dead after police say they were stabbed by another
This is
student
in Arizona,
during a
matter of
fight.
fact.
ABC 15 is team coverage tonight with the latest details from police, plus our education reporter, Annie Dow, digging into
High School. Ford Hatchett has been at the school near 59th Avenue in Osborne all day. Ford, what's the very latest?
Well, we've been out here all day, and we just wrapped up a press conference with a lot of figures from the city. We saw the police chief, Matt Giordano, was here. Mayor Kate Gallego was here, a couple council members as well. They didn't provide a lot of updates and did not take questions, but we do know that one student is dead, another now in custody after police were called out here around 11 a.m. this morning for what they say came in as a fight call. They then learned it might have been a stabbing inside a classroom. We have heard lots of rumors. There are metal detectors here and weapons detectors in this Maryville High School, so we don't know what the weapon was used. We were told in that press conference only that it was a sharp object, but the thought is, and some sources are telling me now, that the weapon is believed to have already been inside the school, inside a classroom, an object in a classroom, not something brought in to the school. We are still waiting on confirmation on some of those details, but again, we do know police responded here. The school safety officer taking that one student into custody, the other student being transported to the hospital where that student died. The mayor calling it a very sad day.
I'm also a mom, like every other parent tomorrow. It'll be a hard moment to drop a kid off at school. And so to the parents out there, know that we are working as hard as we can to make sure that schools are as safe as possible.
And parents were rightfully concerned here today. A lot of them rushing to the school. The alert went out when the school went on lockdown for folks not to come to campus. Many of the parents that rushed immediately here said there's no way they're staying away when a lockdown like this is in place. Lots of them texting their kids. And eventually, about an hour or an hour and a half after a lot of those parents arrived, the students were able to leave the school. We saw a lot of emotional reunions and hugs tonight. I know a lot of those parents are going to be hugging their kids a little bit tighter tonight.
Ford, no doubt. Thank you. And reacting to violence, reaction to it just pouring in now from the superintendent of schools.
Tom Horn calling the stabbing a terrible tragedy, saying, quote, schools must be safe places. He went on to praise the school resource officer on campus who rushed in to help that student who was stabbed.
Phoenix City Councilwoman Betty Guardado, also who oversees the district where the stabbing happened, also sending ABC 15 a statement. She echoes the need for classrooms to be a safe place for all students, adding she'll work with the school district and Phoenix police to ensure their safety. And continuing our coverage on this, as Ford mentioned, parents just swarming the school this afternoon.
ABC 15 education.
Now notice this happened, which I told you was gonna happen, right? Remember I said this, right? But notice you didn't hear a lot of national media attention on this one.
You didn't hear the man. That's something I don't know about this one, man.
Just saying.
I don't know. Kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
It happened in Arizona.
Arizona. Bro, I would not live in Arizona, man. Bro, that's Arizona. Well, my bad. I live in California. What am I talking about? But let me see.
So since we're talking about this, let's keep going with a bang.
Right.
This is a veterinary center.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
So I was a veterinary center in North Carolina and Wilmington, North Carolina. They ended 3 North Carolina firefighters. This was a ship exploding in Baltimore.
Right now, an investigation is currently underway this morning after a cargo ship in the Baltimore harbor explodes. Let me show you the aftermath here with thick smoke coming out of this ship. Thankfully, the good news is that nobody was hurt in this, but it happened near the site of that deadly Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse just last year.
Ain't that something?
Interesting.
News Nation's Tom Dempsey went straight to that scene. He's following the latest for us. Tom, what all do we know about what led up to the blast?
Hey, Marky, good morning from Baltimore. Investigators saying that this explosion happened in this general area of Baltimore Harbor behind me along the Patapsco River. And this morning, the Coast Guard hopes to find far more answers about what exactly happened. But we want to show our viewers this video showing heavy smoke going up into the air after this explosion occurred. According to the Baltimore City Fire Department, this all happened Monday evening when some sort of an explosion happened on what investigators described as a bulk carrier boat. We know air and water emergency crews responded, including fire boats. The investigators saying 23 people were aboard the boat at this time, but miraculously no injuries to report with all this. But they add that this boat got moved to a separate area, and this morning the Coast Guard saying that boat will remain in there until this investigation is complete. Marky.
And Tom, as I mentioned off the top with you, where this explosion happened has a lot of people talking, not far from that deadly bridge collapse last year. That was traumatic for this community, everybody who, drove across that bridge. And now you have this morning.
That's right, Mark. I'll be completely honest. It was tough not to get flashbacks to this story as soon as we started seeing details coming down about this story. The photographer Cam and I, as we were driving out here this morning, talking about that morning when we raced down here to be live for Morning in America. And that bridge, the Francis Scott Key Bridge, literally located right over my shoulder. And you can see part of that bridge where it collapsed. But this is video of when it all happened. Last March, a cargo ship collided with the Key Bridge, leading to its sudden collapse, killing 6 construction workers filling potholes at the time. This led to the port here being closed for months, disrupting not only car traffic, but boat traffic as well. The NTSB issuing a preliminary report describing how the cargo ship experienced electrical blackouts 10 hours before leaving port, as well as shortly before the whole incident occurred. But work has started on rebuilding the bridge, and Marquee construction crews saying that work will be completed sometime in 2028. But you can still see that portion of the bridge still missing this morning. Flashback to an absolutely tragic story that happened here in Baltimore Harbor, Marquee.
Yeah, just an anguishing reminder. Tom Dempsey, live there in Baltimore. Thanks so much. Keep us posted, and we'll check back in throughout the show.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app.
Been a lot of explosions lately. Matter of fact, had an explosion right here in Virginia today, Albemarle County.
Damn. But see, what a coincidence, BJ. That they giving us they're really giving us psyops, aren't they? We'll keep coming with the psyops.
Man. Oh, they ain't got that one on the oh yeah, this is a social media influencer. Hold on a minute. I forgot.
Other news this evening, police have identified the woman found brutally murdered on the Cross County Parkway. The nightlife influencer was found dead behind the wheel. She'd been shot multiple times on her way home from work. Now police are searching for whoever pulled the trigger, and they're trying to figure out why. Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Carlo is live in Inwood with more. Anthony?
Yeah, Sandra, there's quite a memorial outside of Opus Lounge here where Ariela Mejia Polanco worked for several years. A woman just walked up and lit a candle, tells us that she worked alongside her, and she describes Ariela as always being happy. Well, it's the exact opposite now that the nightlife community is feeling. And even though police say this killing was likely targeted, well, those who worked alongside Ariela are now in fear until this killer is caught. There's no small way to say goodbye to someone who was larger than nightlife. Her name spelled out across a floral heart, a big portrait on West 202nd Street, right next to Opus Lounge, one of the spots she worked at. There's only one way people describe Ariela Mejia Polanco.
She's beautiful. She was beautiful, pretty.
Known as Ariela La Langosta on social media, it's that kind of admiration that attracted more than 500,000 followers. Her notoriety as an influencer naturally brought about shock with her death, especially in her community. Cardi B posting R.I.P. Dominican.
What's up with all these older women, bro? That's the only thing you have to say about this is that she was beautiful, bro. Her looks, say something about her look. That's it. Nothing about her personality. Nothing about how good she grow. See, that's what I'm talking about, man. I see why these younger broads act like this, man, because these older broads act like this, man, with this attention and all this vanity. Besides social media, it's like, I think I think this attention thing with social media and they try to be social media influencers, I think it's a lack of attention, man. You feel me? I think the problem stemmed from a lack of attention from family or something, you know what I'm saying? Or pops or moms, you know what I'm saying? Insecurity. But see, if you're an insecure male, then you get made fun of and you're a nerd and all this shit, right? But if you're insecure female, then you get rewarded and shit by society. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Well, I thought that was kind of whack. She could have said something better about the system than that. Oh, she was beautiful. Really? I tell you. Just shallow ass shit. Shallow shit. You know what I'm saying? Coming from another black woman.
That's what it really hurts, Dominican. Very beautiful.
What does Dominican have? What does
Such a thing
her
like
being
this,
Dominican have to do with anything?
Very, very sad.
It was Sunday.
Motherfuckers are weird, man. I'm sorry, man. These immigrants are weird as fuck.
At around 8 o'clock,
Dominican. Why should you
Westchester
say
County
Dominican?
Police
Okay.
showed up
She's
to a
Dominican,
grisly
okay?
scene on the
What the fuck
Cross
does that
County
got to do with her
Parkway
getting
for
killed?
the Broad Street mountain of her G-Wagon, shot multiple times. She was headed home from work, Icon, New York, in Inwood. The lounge writing in part, "Our hearts are broken. Your joy, your humility, and the way you treated everyone with so much care always made you stand out." Police are investigating this as a targeted killing, not random, but investigators are trying to figure out who wanted the influencer dead and why. Mejia Polanco's family tells us the 33-year-old was a great daughter and mother, who leaves behind two children,
How old was she?
ages 13 and 14.
I have.
They say 33?
She was 13. So she was 33.
Yeah.
And she had a kid that was 13. Okay. Right? They just had to say
They
that.
got us again, didn't they, man?
They got you. Just like the other story wasn't on the national news. But see, if a kid just got stabbed, so why was the Carmelo Anthony? Why was that national news then? BJ, why was that national news? So you mean to tell me? Oh, because a black motherfucker. Right. Perfect. Let's go. Let's keep going. They get money off that, dude.
They ain't talking about these rabbits growing tentacles.
I seen that the other day. They get money off that, just like how these black conservatives get money by talking shit
It
about black
seems
people.
rabbits enjoy living in Fort Collins just as
Same
much
thing.
as people. They're often spotted hopping through neighborhoods looking for grub. But some Southeast Fort Collins neighbors noticed bunnies where cute wasn't exactly the word that came to mind. I snapped this photo of one of the rabbits I've seen with the growth. I also saw this photo posted on Reddit, also spotted in Fort Collins.
Like a scabbyish looking kind of growth over her face.
Looks like it was black quills or black toothpicks sticking out all around his mouth.
Susan Mansfield said she saw a different bunny with tentacles in her yard in recent years.
He had this same black stuff on him, and I thought he would die off during the winter, but he didn't. He came back a second year, and it grew.
Some
Yes, I have.
feel bad for our tiny neighbors.
If they have, something that, we can help them with.
Colorado Parks and Wildlife confirms this is a virus that's not contagious to other animals like people's dogs, but they say leave this wildlife alone like you would with any of the neighborhood bunnies.
We thank you for watching.
All right. So that's that. All right. All right, let's see. Pancreatic cancer vaccine.
A one-size-fits-all vaccine that showed promise at preventing pancreatic cancer from coming back. The new clinical trial results were published yesterday. Pancreatic cancer, we know, is a major concern because its 5-year survival rate is about 13%, and up to 80% of those cancers have a high potential to come back. NBC News medical contributor Dr. Natalie Azar is here to break down the results of this trial for us. And I feel like the word game changer was made for this sort of a story. We know that this particular trial was made up of about 20 people with pancreatic cancer, 5 people with colorectal cancer. They all had standard treatment, chemo, surgery, in many cases. They received 6 priming doses of this experimental vaccine. So walk us through the trial's timeline here and what these results show.
Yeah, so what this trial was really looking at was whether or not giving patients, as you said, underwent standard of care, chemotherapy and surgery, if they were administered this cancer vaccine, could this help to prevent recurrence and extend recurrence-free survival? And that's in fact what they found. You already told our viewers that the pretty dismal statistics for pancreatic cancer. And what they found is that the individuals who received the cancer vaccine, about 85% of them did mount the expected immune response that we wanted to see. And about 2/3 of them had such a robust immune response that was still detected months after they were administered this therapy. They extended their cancer-free survival to about 29 months. It was pretty amazing.
So help us understand, how does this vaccine work, and how significant really is this in the broader picture?
I think for patients or viewers to understand sort of the concept of what a cancer vaccine does, if you think normally we give vaccines so that we mount an immune response to protect us against viruses and bacteria and things like that. In the case of a cancer vaccine, in this particular case, we're priming the immune system to recognize particular mutations that these cancer cells have. And that's what basically does. So you're basically introducing this little snippet of this genetic mutation, and now you've essentially triggered your immune system to be like a little army of surveillance, what we call T cells, looking for any cell that has that cancer mutation and killing it. Our immune system has the ability to kill cancer cells. And that's what we're doing here. We're basically exploiting that possibility from our immune system. And that's what it demonstrated here. The thing is that this was an early trial, right? This was a phase 1, as you mentioned, 25 participants. It has to, we have to see the success move through phase 2 and phase 3 before we're talking about FDA approval for such a drug.
Can help us understand some of the science of these cancers, right? Why has it been so difficult to find a successful, widely available cancer vaccine up to now?
Well, so first of all, cancer vaccine, the idea of it is newer. Like we talked about immunotherapy, which is sort of along the same lines of like taking the brake off the immune system in order to kill cancer cells. Cancer vaccine technology is a little bit newer, and some cancers are just trickier, meaning that if you can identify one genetic mutation that you can target with the cancer vaccine, they see that and they immediately start working on another pathway. And so that's what's made it particularly challenging for certain cancers, but it's also why this is particularly great for patients with pancreatic cancer. And by the way, the mutation that this cancer vaccine is targeting, it's not specific to pancreatic or colorectal. It's seen in other cancers. And that's what makes this kind of unique. It's not personalized to the patient. It's actually what we call an off-the-shelf cancer vaccine that could theoretically be used in any cancer that has this genetic mutation.
Some good news for sure. To be,
absolutely.
on this
Very
front.
promising.
Dr. Nitty Azar, thank you so much.
You bet.
We thank you for watching.
So since we're saying that, and I said this a while back about universal shots or whatever. I said this a long time, and I told you that your boy RFK Jr. was going to do that.
What would you say? Would you say right now?
We're developing a universal vaccine at NIH.
He's pushing the universal, right?
Yep.
That doesn't even make no sense though, because different.
Which is a vaccine that addresses the entire phylum of viruses. And so it's a vaccine that mimics natural.
Wouldn't you need different chemicals and different things and different makeups and stuff like that to fight different viruses? How could you have a one size fits all vaccine when different viruses are different, bro? Different viruses affect people different. So how does that work? That don't even make no sense. You see what I'm saying? Cancer is not the same as motherfucking you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Emphysema. You feel me? Like I don't get it, bro. Like that doesn't make no sense.
You got a point.
These motherfuckers, man, it's money, bro. It's money. They know people are dumb. They got MAGA. They got a whole cult followers of motherfuckers that just willing to say, do whatever the fuck Donald Trump wants to say and do. Weird. So that right there lets you know, since you have a MAGA, that lets you know how stupid people are and how dumb people are and how willing people are to follow somebody else, bro, and to follow what somebody else says. You see what I'm saying?
You're right. That's a fact. I mean, makes sense. All right, let me let this play.
Natural immunity.
Yeah, now they deleted that tweet with that video. Okay, we have a special guest with us. Ryan Christian is an independent journalist known for his commitment to transparency and truth. Isn't that nice? Journalism. Nice. I'm also a recipient of that award. He contributes political and social commentary to The Last American Vagabond. What do you mean you contribute? I thought you were The Last American Vagabond, where he provides an alternative voice to the compromised and the co-opted corporate media. Welcome back to the show, Ryan Christian.
Thanks, brother. Good to see you again.
So you are The Last American Vagabond, right?
Yeah, I'm founder and editor of the platform. That's me. I mean, really, it's the name of the platform, but it's, you know, it's meant to be sort of like we are all the last American vagabond kind of idea, you know. But yes, that's mine.
Now, you did an interesting one on this that I wanted to talk to you about. Maha Action tweeted out, RFK Jr. says we're developing a universal vaccine at NIH, which is a vaccine that addresses the entire phylum of viruses. Who ever knew that word phylum? It's a vaccine that mimics natural immunity. So the problem is they deleted this tweet, right? Because here, you want to hear him say it? Here,
We're developing a universal vaccine at NIH, which is a vaccine that addresses the entire phylum of viruses. And so it's a vaccine that mimics natural immunity. And it
but
wait a minute. Hang on.
And it is effective against any kind of mutation. So it doesn't drive the virus to mutate. And it could be effective. We believe it's going to be effective viruses, but also flu.
Really?
And it's going to be a much safer and much more effective vaccine.
Yeah. Now they deleted that tweet with that video, and Grok was asked, why did Secretary Kennedy delete his tweet about developing a universal vaccine? And it says, yeah, it appears he did delete his Twitter post about developing a universal vaccine. My search of his timeline shows no such content, despite videos and reports from his August 8th Alaska event discussing an NIH-led natural immunity mimicking vaccine for COVID and flu. So I just want, so you're on this story. Here's HHS, NIH launched next generation universal vaccine platform for pandemic-prone viruses. So what the hell is going on with this? First of all, what is this universal vaccine, you think?
Well, you can look it up on HHS. I'm not exactly sure why he chose to delete the tweet. I think it's because he got there was more than one, by the way. One was on the Maha, then one was something that RFK himself posted. And the point is that he got a lot of pushback from largely people in the Maha movement. But what's important is to look at these. There's two separate stories here. One of them is the shift into the universal platform direction under the guise of we're ending mRNA, which is not happening. And I want to talk about that too. This is simply staying with the universal platform. I'm very skeptical about this in general. I'm not an expert in this topic, but you and I both have been diving into this research since this entire thing has started. And we both interviewed plenty of doctors, but many I speak to are very adamant about this not being the right direction. The wholesale vaccine direction, which is like the old style, was the one that was rife with all the issues about the concerns and the statements of people being sick after taking them. They deny that, but there's a lot of denial around a lot of these things. And there's a lot of issues that now maybe they're going to do it better. My gut tells me that this is actually sort of the part of the head fake. I do think this is probably going to happen. I doubt that it'll end up being, think about how unlikely it is that you're going to make something that you make one shot that essentially can apply kind of universally to everything kind of forever, that they update. I don't know how that ends up not being some sort of overlapping mRNA technology. It doesn't appear to be, but my thought is that this is sort of a deviation from where I actually think the direction is going. And now this starts with the $500 million contract discussion where RFK Jr. said we're ending all these contracts. Now on that point alone, my research shows that today, only a few of those you can even prove have actually been canceled. And they were ones that were already being canceled before he made that announcement. There's no main list of all those 22 contracts. I'm skeptical even those are being canceled, but just for the conversation, let's assume those are all being canceled. My important point is that HHS released a document that everybody basically selectively quoted. What it said was very clearly that they were ending these contracts and then winding down the direction for mRNA shots, but made clear that Arcturus and Amplitude Therapeutics would be allowed to continue the projects they already were, claiming there wouldn't be new ones. But if you look, the ones that they're both working on are all self-amplifying shots, bird flu, COVID-19, and all mRNA. So those are continuing. That's clear. Secondarily, on the post, it says right underneath this paragraph, everyone.
As a matter of fact, I told you that the other day. I told you that. I said, look, I read the statement. They only said they were just ending those ones supposed to end anyway because that is now approved medicine now.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, oh, we're ending it. And then they said, yeah, he did this. I said, wait a minute. All you gotta do is go read the fine print. See, these influencers know that, but they ain't gonna tell you that.
Oh, these influencers are full of shit. But see, and you know what it is too? They give sprinkle some black influencers that are agents, right? For the masses. But see, they don't really necessarily have to do all that because everybody listens to these white influencers, you know, excluding these fake black conservatives. So, you know what I'm saying? That's the ones, those white conservative fake influencers are the one size fits all to me. Just like Joe Rogan. That motherfucker CIA, these motherfuckers be CIA. You know what I'm saying? What's the other motherfucker? The white Mexican dude, what's his name? Nick Fuentes? That motherfucker, these motherfuckers are CIA, dude. Straight up CIA. Straight up plants. Like, who is this guy, Nick Fuentes? This motherfucker all of a sudden has millions of followers overnight. Like, who is this dude? You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, everybody wants to listen to what the fuck he got to say. And see, what you know why I look at black motherfuckers crazy? People crazy because we be following these racist ass white influencers. Why would you follow a racist or listen to anything a racist white influencer has to say? Somebody that hates you. I don't think that makes any sense to me.
Well,
I just don't.
Me personally, I ain't got a problem listening to him. The problem is, I want to know how you. Well, I don't need to know because I know how you're doing it. You getting that big where everything you say goes viral and people listen to this stuff. That's what I want to know.
And you
I
take it.
listen to you. I just want to know how you getting. If you're getting that
It takes
big,
a regular motherfucker.
I know you're part of something.
Right, and it takes a regular person sometimes years to go fucking viral, bro, to get a certain amount of subscribers. And all of a sudden, here they come. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and they on the internet all day. I mean, you know, they
right. So they're not working. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I know it's kind of crazy. What's the boy name? They say that, what's his name? Umar Johnson or something. And I say this. I mean, we know about Umar and all that stuff, right? But I mean, is he the only one doing that? No. So,
right.
I mean, we kind of knew something was up, but you know, people getting the Umar. Well, I mean, like I said, had the same energy for these guys. Then that's how I look at it. You know, scamming is scamming. Doesn't matter who it is to me. So, it is what it is. If you call Umar a scammer, then these influencers scamming. It is what it is.
I'm telling you.
So, just don't be selective, is what I say. You know,
I'm telling you. You know, Umar should just stuck to he should just stuck. But see, another thing about this too, and that's black. You know, we talking about this Umar thing, and I see a lot of black YouTubers piling on Dr. Umar about the scamming thing, and that's good. We hold our people accountable, but let's just keep the same energy with Elon Musk and these white motherfucking scammers and let's keep the same energy for them too. Shit that actually affects us, because that Doge shit affected you because they basically stole our money, and we're not looking at it like that. But we're looking at it like Elon. I mean, that even though that's not good, and I don't condone him scamming people, that's fucked up. People lost their money from that fool, but at the same time, that's not affecting me. That's not affecting you. Umar scamming. Does that make sense? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But the shit with Elon Musk and the Doge, all that fake scam, big scam shit, that did affect us because he stole money and he put it in the bullshit ass defense account. The shit that the government do, these white motherfuckers
So
doing
the
is
World Economic
it's nothing but psyops. So just like the pimping and shit out here with the Hoovers and shit. So I don't condone that, pimping minors and all that shit. I think you should get the death penalty for shit like that personally, or shot in front of a firing squad. But at the same time, most 30, 40, 50% of the kids come from CPS anyway, come from Child Protective Services. These kids on the streets. Nobody's not talking about that though. And we're gonna bring these bitch ass gang members and shit. We're gonna hold them accountable for fucking pimping. Let's hold these motherfucking CPS motherfuckers and these organizations, these 3-letter organizations. Let's hold them accountable for this shit. But once again, black people are we the scapegoat. Once again, we're the psyop.
All right, let me play this. I told you Larry Fink had big plans.
Reform as a replacement for Klaus Schwab. Take a look.
Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, has just been appointed interim co-chair of the World Economic Forum, putting the world's largest asset manager directly into a leadership role at Davos. BlackRock controls nearly $10 trillion in assets, giving it more financial power than the GDP of most countries on Earth. Fink has openly admitted in past interviews that, quote, you have to force behaviors, when referring to how corporations and governments can be pushed into ESG and climate compliance. Critics argue this shows how unelected financial elites are using the WEF platform to shape policy without democratic accountability. The forum itself has long been blasted for elitism, corporate favoritism, and promoting globalization at the expense of national sovereignty. Its Great Reset messaging after the COVID crisis raised alarms about surveillance, digital currencies, and top-down control under the banner of sustainability. At the same time, the hypocrisy of billionaires and world leaders arriving to Davos on fleets of private jets while telling ordinary people to cut back on carbon has made the WEF a global symbol.
So that's about Larry Fink.
That motherfucker. Everybody talking about scamming and Umar, but what about how Trump has all these billionaire, trillionaire motherfuckers in his cabinet? What about that big ass tariff play that they did? You know what I'm saying? And then he asked these people, these donors, his buddies on national TV, how much money they made from the fucking stocks going down from the tariffs. Wow, dude. Wow.
We're developing.
Like, these niggas, see, the white motherfucker can do it in your face. We're good. We're not gonna question it. But when the black motherfucker do it, we're going to dog pile on that motherfucker. We all knew Dr. Umar was a scammer. This is nothing new. But see, I'm telling you, a lot of these black YouTuber motherfuckers is just all about content. They're not about change. They don't want nothing for the people. They're all about change. They're not about content. I mean, they're about content. They're not about change. They don't really want nothing for the black people. As long as their fucking YouTube check is fat every week, they're good. As long as and see, a lot of these motherfuckers want to get on this YouTube shit.
We spent $327 for electricity.
You know what I'm saying? To low key be famous. Motherfuckers want to be low key celebrities. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. You're right. They do want to be that.
Motherfuckers don't want no change, dude. Motherfuckers don't want. You wouldn't be pushing for any side, bro. You would not be pushing for no side. Period. You wouldn't bat it. And then look how Trump is taking away this shit and the shit from these museums and Martin Luther King statue and all this bullshit. So this is the hypocrisy with this shit. So you don't want us to take away no Confederate statues, then don't take away Martin Luther King statue. I'm confused. Why are we okay? So you don't want us to take away no statues, but then you go on and do it when you get in office. BJ, I don't like fake. That's fake. I don't like one-sided shit. And just because a white motherfucker is doing it, we gotta go with his narrative because it's a white motherfucker doing it. But when it's a black motherfucker do it, we call him out. I don't like that, man. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that shit, man. I'm tired of us. We use black people as a scapegoat too, bro. We use our own people as a scapegoat to not fucking hold his ass accountable, bro. I'm tired of that shit. That's what was it? Brian Anthony Logan, or what's his name? All them fake ass black conservative motherfuckers. A lot of them motherfuckers is talking that shit too for the money. Some of them motherfuckers don't really believe the bullshit that's coming out their mouth. You know what I'm saying? Not even just King. I'm just saying, Doc Boss. It's not even that. I'm not even going at protecting King. It's just the whole point. You wouldn't be taking, that's just fake shit. You wouldn't be taking no history away, bro. And why? So let me get this fucking straight. You want to take history away because it's a black motherfucker, because the color of motherfucker's skin? That's bullshit. But then you want to call DEI, oh man, merit, bro. You talking about merit, but then you want to take away history just because of so it's not American history because the motherfucker's black. Let me get this straight. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. I understand dog whistle. Communications, 90% of this shit is nonverbal. I understand shit like that. I understand the dog whistling that they're doing. Why are you fucking with any kind of history, bro? And then this is the same of, oh man, we don't want white kids to be offended. But yet y'all making this crime bill because black kids in DC, right? I'm tired of hypocrisy, bro. But that's all politics is. And that's all when you're dealing with the European, that's all you're gonna get is hypocrisy. It's just like dealing with a fucking woman. Dealing with the European is like dealing with a fucking woman, bro. You're gonna get a bunch of emotions, you're gonna get a bunch of uncertainty, you're gonna get a bunch of lies, you're gonna get a bunch, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna get a fake ass motherfucker that tells you one thing and actually does nothing because they're passive aggressive. They don't know how to be aggressive, straightforward.
All right, guys. So this story right here, this call.
He's been this dude right here. He's been on his shit. And see, it's sad, even though he's probably paid too. I'm not praising, but it's sad. I mean, well, white motherfuckers. See, I get it though. That makes sense. So what, black YouTubers gonna hold black YouTubers, black people accountable, and white YouTubers gonna hold. That makes sense. But at the same time, it's sad that some black YouTubers are giving these motherfuckers a pass more than these white motherfuckers. Shit. It's like, damn, dude, like, how come these certain motherfuckers see and you don't? I'm not either side. I just think I see this fake psyops in both sides. But honestly, I see, look, for example, when Kamala Harris and Joe Biden was in, there was a lot of fake black symbolism. And they actually did do shit for niggas. The same thing with Trump. As a matter of fact, my bad, there's not even really no black symbolism. He ain't even playing it off like, oh yeah, black. He just like, oh, fuck you. Now his first term was a little different. But see, he wasn't a lame duck in his first term, and he knew that he was going to win this time because these motherfuckers off stage, and they know that's why he kind of kept it a certain way when it came down to so-called black people his first term, right? But this term, he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna be a lame duck. I ain't gonna be able to run again. I'm just gonna fucking show my ass. I just think that, you know what I mean? All that is just symbolism is not good either. Like symbolism against us is not good either. You feel what I'm saying? Doing a little dog whistling and all that shit is not good, bro. Why don't you just not even say or not do nothing for niggas and just keep it like that then? Versus like low-key indirectly going at niggas and shit, but then trying to like act like you're not a racist motherfucker. That's fake to me. That's fake shit. He's a white New Yorker. You gotta watch out for these white New York. I'm from New York, man. Doc Boss, you know what these white New Yorker motherfuckers, bro. You know how they are, bro. Them motherfuckers are some treacherous motherfuckers, bro. You talking about the main European immigrant is the black New Yorker, bro. I'm telling you, man. That's where all them Russian motherfuckers and all them Germans and all them Italians and Irish. Those are just the major descendants of that. And guess what? They got into prominent positions like the police department and the fire department.
All right,
you see what I'm saying?
Well, let me play this right quick, because this is what I was trying to tell you about. You were talking about the influencers. I tell you, they went to Israel with Huckabee.
Yeah, that's
my eye, man. This caught my eye. This is fascinating to me. So, Consortium News says the following: MAGA, the influencers, are going to Israel for propaganda training. Wow. Okay. The Israeli government is paying to have 16 MAGA social media influencers with millions of followers brought to Israel to learn how to stop the American youth from turning against Tel Aviv over Gaza. So this guy, Joe Loria, wrote this, again, from Consortium News. He says, the Israel Foreign Ministry will spend $86,000 to finance a tour to Israel for 16 Americans to get them to use their vast online influence to craft more positive images of a nation openly engaged in genocide. The effort is being made as Israel reacts to a significant turn in public opinion against it, especially by Western youth. Tel Aviv realizes its usual methods of propaganda and apparently its own in-house troll army are no longer.
So, in long story short, Frank, you know what that means? That means the influencers who were saying that, hey, look, we don't like what's going on in Palestine and Gaza. They're gonna come. They probably gonna come back and start talking more favorable about Israel. You know, kind of like try to spray the fence a little bit. Let's put it like that. See what I'm saying? So, right. How did they? Who paid for them to get over there? Why they get it out of there? See what I'm talking about?
Right.
See, because like I told you, it's kind of weird. You can't support what the government doing, right? You know why?
Because you're in on it.
Because okay, right. So it's kind of weird. So they saying they for this, but like they're saying they for cleaning up crime, right? Well, don't you know that a lot of this stuff is Israeli models they're using, even with this National Guard stuff and all that? You do know that, right?
Right. These are Israeli. This is some shit that they got. Yeah, America got from them, bro.
Yeah. They kind of work hand in hand, right? So, but what I'm saying is, I'm talking about with the spyware and all that stuff. The spyware. So what I'm saying is, the influencers on one side, they can't be serious about what they're saying because this stuff been going on in Gaza, Palestine, whatever, for a long time, right? And now they go over there. I thought they was against it. If I'm against it, I ain't going over there. You know what I'm saying? I'm going over there.
Right.
I'm going to talk about Huckabee. Huckabee and some of these evangelicals say they have a biblical right to do what they're doing. So I'm like, it's kind of weird that these guys, 16 of them went over there. So if they back, and they probably already back, what are they gonna say? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, well, look, we were wrong. We learned something in our XYZ. Because remember, if they got paid to come over there, who paid for their ticket? Did they talk about this one? Israel.
So this story is so crazy. When I first saw it, I thought, oh man, that has to be.
Yeah, an Israel official in Nevada get arrested for pedophilia in the U.S. and then he was released and went back to Israel. Ain't that something?
Fake. That's just too perfect.
That's why I don't
too
like.
perfect. But no, it turned out to be true. So look at this.
We should definitely always hold our people accountable and shit too. Yeah, because you're supposed to hold grown men and women accountable. Period. But that's why there's too much double standard with America for me to just want to quickly just believe everything. Something they say about one of my people and just me going on one of my people. I can't do it. It's like I mean, what they say with when you point at somebody, one is pointing at somebody, but then the three other fingers are pointing back at you. It's the same kind of stuff. America is fake. They're full of it. I don't want to hear it. Oh, and then just like example, oh man, Figueroa, man, we going to Figueroa, bro. I don't want to hear nothing. Okay, yeah. If their motherfuckers was really doing all that sex trafficking stuff, get them out of there. Lock them up to the fullest in the law. But bro, you talking about you going after black people for pimping on Figueroa, these females on Figueroa, bro, and young females, bro. Y'all had young females on a fucking island with Jeffrey Epstein. You see, I'm tired of hypocrisy.
Wait a minute.
I'm tired of it.
Wait a minute. I got a question. What is Figueroa? What's that?
Figueroa is a whole stroll out here in Los Angeles. In Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
Los Angeles.
Gotcha. Yep. Okay.
You see the double standard? Talking about prostituting young girls, bro. You was messing with young girls. The whole president was messing with young girls, bro, in a cover up, and that's how you know he was guilty of it because they don't want to release the damn file. We fall for it, man. I ain't falling for it, bro. I'm not gonna go harder on my people.
Well,
fight motherfucker when they do.
Let's say this.
I'm good.
Well, let's say this.
Mm-hmm.
This thing with what they call it, pedophilia, right, or whatever, right? Now, it's kind of a thing because some countries got different laws on it, whatever. But at the same time, when there's some of these countries, right, when we look at it, like this guy was released, right? Why in the hell was this not national news? I mean, they brought it up, but why wasn't that national news again? So they tell you about Jeffrey Epstein, but then this happened, right? The Israel official got caught in the sex thing, and he went back home. Damn. Right? That makes sense to you, Frank? No. Right? Yeah. Okay. I'm making sure.
This is from The Guardian. Israeli government official arrested in Nevada in internet crimes against children's sting. So this guy, who, by the way, works directly underneath Netanyahu, okay, he gets caught basically soliciting a minor for sex. It's pedophilia. And he gets arrested, and then he gets immediately released. Immediately. This is a crime that the punishment is up to 10 years in prison. He gets arrested. He is immediately released. An Israeli government cybersecurity official was arrested recently by Las Vegas police and other authorities in Nevada who were conducting an undercover investigation aimed at online users seeking to sexually prey on children. Tom Artyom Alexandrovich, 38 years old, faces felony charges of luring a child with a computer for a sex act alongside several other suspects who were apprehended during the 2-week sting operation. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department said in a statement published on Friday, he has since been released from custody on $10,000 bail after an initial court appearance, records show, and returned to Israel. As first reported by the news site Mediaite, a publicly...
Now who the hell was buttering him up to get that done, huh, Frank? What the hell is that, man? Man was able to get... Damn, he got caught. They had a 2-week operation. He let him go. Damn, Frank, he tough, ain't it? Bad boy.
I'm telling you.
Bad boy right there. That's a bad boy.
When they do it, when the European do it, it's all good. And see, this is training people, bro. This trains people, and it puts your inside your subconscious mind that it's okay for these white motherfuckers to do this shit. I'm telling you, bro. This is programming us, Trump, all these motherfuckers, that it's okay for them to mess with little kids, bro. But it's not okay for you. I mean, my thing is, why is anybody doing it, bro? Why is anybody getting away with this shit? That's my thing. Does it make sense?
Yep. No, it doesn't make sense.
Let's get into Israel. Let's get into Israel. This is another thing with Trump administration. I'm so full of shit because they want to see they want to scapegoat these resources. They don't want to give motherfuckers resources. So you know what? And they don't want to put and invest inside the infrastructure in the economic structure sector, right? They don't want to do that. So what they want to do is do the scapegoat. And they want to blame it on homeless people, right? Blaming all the fucking problems on homeless motherfuckers, right? Blaming on these people on these social programs, blaming all the problems on them, blaming the problems on these fucking DC kids. You see what I'm saying? But it's just like, bro, you're supposed to, the money that you give it to Ukraine and Israel and all these stupid ass fucking countries, that's the money you're supposed to be spending on resources and infrastructure. If you know damn well if you have resources in the fucking hood, you know what I'm saying, in these cities, and more people have fucking more money, there would be way less crime. But they know that would be a problem for the motherfucking police. Am I right? Now you mess with the police's money. Now you mess with their quotas. Now you mess with the hospitals. Because, you know what I'm saying, less people getting shot and stabbed, right? Less people in the hospital, am I right? Less people stressing and worrying. Less people in the hospital, am I right?
You're
right. These people, I mean, we're trained not to look for the solution. We're trained not to look at the bigger picture. We're trained to just look at the small portion. I noticed that about our people. There's people, period, in America, because they push us to do the big picking and choosing. Oh, I'm gonna go this way or this way. No, it's about the righteous way. If you're not going the righteous way, why are you going how are you going any way if you're not about to go in the righteous way? Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But Israel, I'm sorry. And look, these people talk. Look, why is the mainstream media, why is American media not talking about all these protests going on in Israel? You know, Israel has a lot of protests going on right now in the streets.
Yep.
Why are they not? Why is people not talking about that? Why are these fucking influencers not talking about that?
It's been brought up, but not in a big thing. I see what you're saying, definitely.
But no, what's his name was brought up though? The Carmelo Anthony shit's brought up, and the fucking the kid that got stopped in Florida when he got punched in the face by the fucking cop. He got brought up. The Cincinnati shit got brought up. It's only when it's to fuck over black people, then this shit is a big story. Or it's only when the the victim is supposed to be a white person that got victimized by a black person. Then it gets brought up. You notice that?
Mm-hmm. Well, let me
Ooh, animal. Damn, he said straight from the Brook Animal Farm.
Now look, let me play this.
These motherfuckers got us psychologically controlled. Bro.
Let me play this.
We're like computers and shit. If you think about it, you know how you can just shut off a computer or anything when you feel like it.
I'm gonna play two things. Remember, Blackwater was in Hurricane Katrina, so we get into that in a minute. Hold on.
In the world of modern mercenaries, one name stands out: Blackwater. If you haven't heard of them before, do know this. They're the most infamous private security company in modern history. The man behind Blackwater is Eric Prince. And now he's at it again. Only this time, the battlefield is not Iraq or Afghanistan, it's Haiti, a country in the Caribbean that is already on the brink. Gangs rule the roads here, the government barely functions, and foreign intervention has a long, messy history. Now, Eric Prince is set to add to the chaos. He's sending 200 fighters to Haiti. The question is why? Why Haiti? And why is Blackwater's ghost showing up in the Caribbean? Tonight, we'll break it down. Haiti is located in the Caribbean, like I said. It's a country on the edge. In 2021, their president was assassinated. Right now, it is under a transitional presidential council. Elections are planned for later this year, but Haiti is sliding into more chaos. Gangs control large parts of the capital. They monitor key roads. There's a UN-backed police mission led by Kenya, but it has not made much progress. A state of emergency is in effect. Haitians are desperate for security. So much so that they ended up inviting a private army with a checkered past. Which brings us to Eric Prince. He's a former US Navy SEAL. In 1997, he founded a company called Blackwater. We'll tell you about it in a bit, but for now, let's focus on Eric Prince's new company. It's called Vectis Global. Now, this company, Vectis Global, has signed a deal with Haiti's government. They will deploy fighters from the US, Europe, and El Salvador to Haiti. To do what? To clear gang-controlled roads and territory and help restore Haiti's border tax collection. It's about bringing back cash flow to a broke government. Sounds simple enough on paper, but in reality, it's a lot more complicated. You see, Eric Prince has a very controversial past. As I just said, he founded Blackwater. The company's headquarters were in North Carolina. The groundwater in the area was quite dark, and that is why they decided to call it Blackwater. Also dark were their dealings. Blackwater took part in some conflicts. Then came the war in Iraq, and that's where it made its mark. In August 2003, Blackwater received its first Iraq contract. It was worth $21 million. Soon, Blackwater was training 40,000 people annually, mostly in Iraq. By 2007, they were doing all of America's dirty work there. They guarded facilities, they protected high-value individuals, they trained the military, and they carried out critical operations. They were also involved in multiple war crimes. There were rapes, murders, incidents of torture, all of which was brushed under the rug. But the Nisur...
Not only that, Blackwater was on the ground in Hurricane Katrina.
Interesting.
And matter of fact, I think 4 of them got pardoned just before Trump got out of office last time. Some people in Blackwater got pardoned of war crimes. But yeah, they were on the ground in Iraq. Matter of fact,
interesting.
This is Blackwater, New Orleans.
Interesting.
Peacemaker killed my son. My priority is revenge.
I know it's because my muscles are bigger than theirs, but geez, right? No one will break us apart.
In August of 2005, as New Orleans reels in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, lawlessness reigns. The federal response is a shambles, and Blackwater moves in to fill the void.
In terms of the lack of organization and the complete chaos that was raging there, it felt very much like a war zone.
In a lot of ways, it was more shocking and disturbing than anything I encountered in Iraq and Afghanistan.
This former Blackwater contractor, who does not want it identified, was among the first on the scene.
It was just chaos. There was animals eating dead bodies.
Dead body right there. They got 7 more inside the convention center right now. And no Orleans police there about to say, we can't do nothing.
It was one of the most surreal moments in my life.
They brought this body out here and left over. They got children over there. You can't leave this body over here with children there.
And I remember thinking to myself, wow, this is what the end of the world looks like.
Things are moving so fast, Blackwater arrives without a contract, but claiming they have authorization to shoot if necessary. Soon, at a fee of almost $250,000 a day, the Department of Homeland Security officially hires the firm to help local and state authorities patrol the streets.
You've got guys in Kevlar helmets with body armor carrying assault rifles who are suddenly deputized and allowed to act in an aggressive manner on U.S. soil.
The law enforcement in the area was completely overwhelmed, so I think contractors were instrumental in helping the law enforcement get things back under control.
The presence of a private military force on American soil has many people, and even some contractors, wondering if the Founding Fathers' insistence on civilian control of the military has been turned on its head.
Having to be put in that situation in a major U.S. city was very shocking and very eye-opening to me.
What freaked people out about Blackwater in New Orleans wasn't what Blackwater did. It was just the fact that they were there.
So that was in New Orleans a couple of years ago. 20 years ago. So they all had Blackwater in Grand New Orleans, and yes, they were shooting people off roofs and shit. People have said that.
And you said shooting people off roofs?
But they didn't have a contract, was the first part, like the guy told you. They gave them a contract en route.
And what was Blackwater supposed to do out there? They weren't sent out there to kill motherfuckers, huh?
Well, they had I think they had a thing called Camp Greyhound where they locked people up. They said they were there to help with the looting and the rioting, and they said that the police couldn't handle it. So basically, what you see in New York, DC or National Guard, but this is a private military force, and they trained to kill. They were killing people in Iraq too. That's why they were convicted of war crimes. They're a mercenary group. That's what Blackwater is. And they have changed the name so many times. Matter of fact, Betsy DeVos, who was the Secretary of Education in the first Trump administration, her brother or brother-in-law is that guy named Eric Prince.
Wait, Eric Prince, who?
He the head of Blackwater.
White racist motherfucker. White racist killer motherfucker. Motherfucker, kill your ass.
Let me see if I can find it. This is where no, I can't find it. It was a place called the Greyhound area in New Orleans where they can't find it. That place where they had people in New Orleans being tucked away. So let's do this. Because they got a movie out called the 20th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. Right now, actually. Come think about it, hurricane coming to North Carolina, might hit Virginia. Carter Aaron or some shit. Matter of fact, they're gonna air this on August 29th. Documentary.
But look, after this documentary, look.
Now, with the remembrance of loss and
still not gonna be no look. Still not gonna be no resources. There's still not gonna be nothing allocated. There's still not gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Still not gonna be nothing, any kind of weather trackers or any kind of better equipment or anything like that.
celebration.
None of that shit.
Yeah, let me hear this. I want to hear this. This is interesting. I don't know about no celebration though.
Of resilience. It's our upcoming special Hurricane Katrina 20 years after the storm, where we look at the devastation of that Category 5 storm that killed nearly 1,400 people, ravaged so many communities, to see how the Gulf Coast has healed after 2 decades. Here's a first look. The emotional toll to this very day is still, well, just overwhelming. 20 years. 20 years later, Hurricane Katrina. Just incredible. I had never in my entire life seen that kind of destruction. Now, to reflect on Katrina 20 years later, there were tears, sorrow, and tears of joy. Good to see you.
Friday night, August 29th, Robin Roberts. She was right there in the wake of destruction.
So many people affected by this storm.
And now, Robin goes back to her home on the Gulf Coast.
Whew. That was a trip down memory lane.
With the powerful stories of those who lived through it all.
What's it like to see it rebuilt, knowing what it looked like 20 years ago?
I would have had a better chance of dreaming of being on Mars than think 20 years out.
And back to New Orleans.
I don't think 1 week go by that we don't refer to something with Katrina. I remember thinking, is the city itself going to be back? Physically, emotionally?
Katrina may have given us a run for our money, but it could never kill us.
A city rebuilt, thriving. A community united. Filled with
trickles down into everything that we are here.
This city is so magical and spiritual.
The all-new event special.
This is something about the South. You're not knocking us down completely.
Robin Robert.
I'm home. It'll always be home.
Hurricane Katrina, 20 years after the storm. Friday night, August 29th at 8/7 Central on ABC.
I hope everybody feels, no matter where you're from, there's no place like home, wherever home is to you. And you can see Hurricane Katrina 20 years after the storm on Friday, August 29th. That's a week from this Friday at 7 Central here on ABC and streaming the next day on Hulu and Disney Plus. And you have to keep in mind the area of destruction is the size of Great Britain. Wow, it wasn't like you could just leave one town there on the coast and go to the next. It was the size of Great Britain. But the people from around the country and the world who rallied around all of us on the Gulf Coast to help lift us back up. And so to be able to celebrate where we are and look back and some lessons learned from those who are going through their something right now, be it the fires, the flooding, hurricanes and such.
We're happy
I know
to bring that
this
to
was
us.
so important for you to do. I'm really looking forward to it.
Appreciate it all. Love you guys.
Love you too.
Right, love you back. Right. Thank you, Robin.
Now with the remember,
I mean, it's all good they want to talk about it, but you know, I mean, it's kind of crazy when you really think about it, man. That all that happened and it wasn't really. I mean, you know, but and somebody just sent me this. My last thing I'm gonna talk about: air conditioning at Henrico High School, right down the street. I'm like, damn, school just started. Y'all got air conditioning. What the hell was y'all doing over the summer, man? The hell? What do you think, Frank, man? Come on,
man. Back to school is no doubt an exciting time for Fatima Marsh and her child.
And in the midst of the excitement, you still want to be comfortable and you want to be able to focus.
She's a parent and the PTA president at Dumbarton Elementary in Henrico. But when she entered the building on Monday, she was troubled by what she observed.
The AC still wasn't fully functioning because there was an industrial-sized fan in the front office. Staff, again, were perspiring. And it just led me to be concerned for not only the students, but also teachers and staff. No one should be working in those conditions.
According to an email the principal sent parents last week, air conditioning concerns prompted the addition of portable cooling units in classrooms and main areas as repair work was being done on the HVAC system.
My understanding is that this has been an ongoing issue since the end of last school year.
Marsh says issues with the AC are not new, and while she applauds the school-level administration for their transparency and efforts to address the problem, she's calling on central office to make it a priority.
I think from the Henrico County School leadership, I would love to see communication on timeline. I would like to know what their alternatives are.
We asked those questions to the district, and spokesperson Eileen Cox tells me the chiller at Dumbarton has been repaired, but a cluster of rooms are still warmer. She says that spot coolers will remain on site as temperatures are monitored. Now, this wasn't the only Henrico County school that had an AC dilemma on day one. Lakeside Elementary closed on Monday for HVAC repairs due to a school-wide issue. However, Cox says it has been fixed. The AC at John Rolfe Middle was not properly functioning in portions of the building, but Cox says that too has been rectified and the building is now cooling down. Lastly, Cox says Henry Ward is experiencing a school-wide humidity issue. Fans are on site and spot coolers are on the way. In a statement, Cox says in part, Henrico County Public Schools has approximately 500 large HVAC systems across the county. Scheduled maintenance of HVAC systems and repairs to individual units happen year-round. However, as you would imagine, problems are more likely to occur during extreme summer heat and humidity when HVAC systems are running more frequently. Facility staff and our partner contractors are working extended hours and weekends to address needs at our schools. Unfortunately, the availability of parts and delays in the delivery of necessary supplies can be significant barriers to completing repairs as quickly as we would like. For Marsh, a comfortable learning environment for all is paramount to success.
And so I think if we can address the temperature, we might have better outcomes for not only our students, but our teachers and staff who work really hard to make the school year magical.
Yeah, I think I have seen her around a couple of times. Yeah, Frank, like I said, a lot of stuff going on, but it is what it is. You know what, Frank? You said something earlier, right? It was very interesting. And you said it was like a woman or something like that, or like emotional or something. You're like you were swinging, right?
Uh-huh.
You remember this song? Going way back now. You hear this song, you be like, damn. But it could feel like a woman.
Oh, yes, it is. I was listening to this the other day.
You remember that?
Yeah.
So, like you said, man, they I guess you kind of call it like you talking about. I guess you were saying in politics, but or the psyops. But hey, they sending you swinging, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's why you can't argue with them, man. It's like you can't argue with these people. If you notice, when something like, look, for this how scandalous these people are. Like, even though it was a psyop, what's the lady, old girl that got killed with the pot of water by the cop? You know,
yeah.
Even there was a story I sent you to. It was a black lady that got killed in the convalescent or the old folks' home. The police shot and killed her. There don't be no sympathy and empathy for that when they kill kids and old people. When one of our kids or old people get shot by these other people, there's no sympathy and empathy. They'll make up, hey, oh, they should have did this or did, and it's just like that's just straight up evil, bro. It's just straight out evil. These people do not like you, they hate you. So why would you try to be a conservative or a liberal or whatever the fuck all these bullshit ass labels are? You know what I'm saying? Because remember, you said not too long ago, I'm not, man. Somebody try to say, what are you, this and that? You said, I'm not anything. I'm BJ. Don't put no labels on me. Just like I feel you. Don't be putting no bullshit ass white fucking made up labels on me. You see what I'm saying? That's just not gonna get me anywhere. You see what I'm saying? That's why they, like I was saying earlier too, that's why they got the Candace Owens. That's why they got these people. You see what I'm saying? Because it's a monetization thing. You can make a lot of money off talking bad about black people. or talk about black people's misfortune, like as if we got there by accident, like we got this way.
Look at Candace Owens. Now, let me ask you a question about that. Ain't it mighty funny that she talking about being against Trump now when she was one of the biggest cheerleaders at first? Ain't that funny?
Man, the biggest cheerleaders, man.
Right. So
now you got Marjorie Taylor Greene. You know who's pushing? You know who's now took their place? That what's the white broad's name that looked like a fucking like a gothic broad? Laura Loomer, whatever the fuck her name is.
Yeah.
The new little token. Trump.
Oh yeah, Laura Loomer. Oh yeah. Now wait a minute. Now on the flip side, Marjorie Taylor Greene. What's the guy? Girl named Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer act like she against Green and Green. I said, no, wait a minute. Both of y'all was praising each other a couple years ago.
Sorry about that.
So
Laura Loomer's full of it, dude. They're all full of it.
Laura Loomer is a stunt scientist. I know about Larry Loomer.
Big time, bro.
But she's very well in the cross. She's not in the crosshair. She actually is very tied to the administration. I will put it that way.
But these people are agents, man.
Yeah.
See, you know, and we get caught up in the psyop too because we don't see this is the thing. Black motherfuckers get to supporting these people, liking, subscribing to these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Listen to their bullshit. But the local grassroots, cat like me and you, person that's getting out the mud, they ain't gonna like and subscribe and check out your information. See, I don't like that. Don't be around me. Just don't call. You know what I mean? Don't fuck with me if that's the case. I don't want to fuck with you. That's fake shit. You know what I'm saying? That's not real, man. That's not. I don't just. You know what? We just not be cool. That's fine with me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's funny, fake shit, bro. Why not support our information like as if what we're saying is not right or something? Because we niggas that they know. Just because you know me and you know I'm a nigga, you think my information ain't right. I'm not feeling that, bro. Just somebody got a what's that called? Inferiority complex and shit. That's what that shit is. That's some inferiority complex type shit. I'm not going with that shit. You know what I mean?
You're right. 100%. Yeah, but I mean, man, look, love. Hey, there was an old saying back in the day. I think Jay-Z said it in the song, "You can love me or leave me alone." So it is what it is, right? That's right. You can't get. I mean, they have to, sometime. But I think some people are starting to get it, and some people want to, stay in the same realm. But I mean, I look at it like this. They are really coming out now and letting you know. So I mean, you can't say they ain't telling you. That's the good thing. The bad thing is if you're gonna listen to the influencers, right? Then I mean, hey, like everybody say, oh my God, Trump and Elon against each other. Right. Okay. So why would I care about this Doge man getting attacked if it had something to do with Elon?
Yeah, and then they stole all that money and shit. See, that's what I can't. Yeah, Umar's a scammer. Umar ain't shit. We've been knowing Umar's MO for fucking since the 2000s. But we can see that's what I'm talking about. Umar hasn't stolen money from me. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't stolen money from you. Doge stole money from us, bro. That's what I'm saying. See, and like the administration will fund the money that's supposed to be yours with no stimulus checks. And what's up with all these fake postings about stimulus? The second round of stimulus checks, motherfuckers ain't got one round. And what's up with these motherfuckers talking about stimulus checks? You got to be eligible. Check your eligibility. Eligibility, motherfucker. You didn't say nothing about eligibility when you hired or when you raising these taxes. You ain't saying nothing about no damn eligibility when you going up prices.
Speaking of that. It's a stimulus check, right?
Mm-hmm.
You niggas say that, well, they claim, I mean, they say the national debt was $37 trillion the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that means going up, but a stimulus check, with every time they put, that's putting money in the economy, you say, but also putting up the debt, as they say, right? So they say, right? But I will say this about them stimulus checks.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be trying to find out, like I said, take what you get, but don't you think it's kind of weird that they only give the American public a $1,400 to $2,000 stimulus check while they getting billions?
Well, they getting billions, dude. Why they getting billions?
Actually, trillions. But
minimum wage. Last time minimum wage went up was what? 2011, something like that.
They say the minimum wage in Virginia will go up next year, so we're gonna see.
You know the federal minimum wage is only $7.25. Do you know that?
Yep.
But see, that's what I'm saying. See, but it's the homeless. Homeless is the problem, and the black motherfuckers in DC is the problem, and the black kids, nappy head kids in DC is the problem. So I mean, why is everything else the problem? But that's what the real problem is. And shit.
Well, one thing about it is the minimum wage is $7.25. I mean, you could be homeless on the street. I'm tell you that right now,
dude. And then the thing is too, you know what I mean? The funny thing about that is, man, the shit is. I like how you said that shit, man, because if that's the case, see, that 37 trillion, that national debt, they rather it go up and they get the money from it, not you get the money from it. Oh man, spending more on the economy is going to make the inflation. Y'all motherfuckers just fucking did that big, beautiful bill bullshit. None of that shit really benefited us, but that shit made that shit go up by how much? Now that shit is 37, supposed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, I mean, honestly, man, they're just showing you, now we doing this shit, we'll raise this debt ceiling for us, for our benefit and our interest, not you. That's why I be telling people, man. It seems like it's a faith. People don't have faith in God. Nah, they got faith.
They give you stimulus, they still win. Because guess what?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I told the guy, I told one of my boys, boy, I don't care if they pass stimulus today. You know why? Because even when they pass that, they still win because they know where you're going to spend your money most of the time.
You're going to spend your money back. You're not going to save that shit, bro. Because chances are you're going to need it with all this shit.
Well, they did a study the other day, and this is why I'm bringing this up, that they know that right now, they think they said that 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. I think they said over 50 to 60% of the population could not last more than one paycheck.
Oh.
And they said that most people don't have the money up front. They buying that stuff on credit. So that go to show you that you're in a big state of emergency right there as far as financial. That's why I said even they pass a stimulus, people still in the hole. I mean, you have to pass unless you passing like $1 million or something like that, people still in the hole. I mean, it's still,
damn.
I mean, even then, I mean, still in the hole, depending on what they got. But that would be the only thing, $100,000 may have. But I mean, look, man, you got school debt, you got this, that, and the third, and blah blah blah, and all this other stuff. So I mean, hey, man, the best thing is just pay all your stuff early. I mean, don't buy a new car if you don't got to. Just buy a used one. Shit, fuck it. Make sure it worked though. But it is what it is. But yeah, go ahead and charge the information, man.
Well, yeah, man. So yeah, y'all holla at me, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hit me up at XX Frank Nitty XX. On Instagram and YouTube. My page is down again. I mean, because StreamYard is janky. So I guess they just said, I reached out to them. I guess they just ignored me and just said F you. So it's all good. So I'm gonna keep, doing what I do and try to find other means. If I fuck with StreamYard again or not. That's some real fucked up customer service to me. But you know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna keep on, man, with the fight, man, because I just think people are full of it, and I think that we gotta change, man. We gotta change within ourselves, man, in order for changes to come, man. We have to stop expecting that, you see what I'm saying? That things are gonna come without us changing the narrative, because that's all these Europeans, if you really think about it, got it, the narrative. You see what I'm saying? That's why they got the stereotypes. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense.
I understand you 100%, man. Well, like I said, man, you know, it's all good. That, you know, just keep on doing what you're doing, man. Relax, man. Like I always tell people, hey, remember, you got to make your own adjustments. Because guess what? I'm telling you, I know already tell you this way. It's been like we had a 100-degree summer for the most part. They had 90 degrees all of July with all them damn rainstorms. And this month in August, which August used to be hot. I mean, it's been like 70, 76 a day, 80, maybe 85 tomorrow. We've had 2 days where it's been 90 or 3 at best. The month of August actually been cooler than July by a lot. And we might get hit with some rain from a hurricane. So whatever that case is, brother, take your time, relax. They say there's a lot of heat coming to California, so the heat wave might be coming that way. And just, you know, like I say, man, do your thing. But yeah, take your time, man. Salute. Have a good night. And remember, you know the song I played, right?
Oh yeah.
They're gonna keep sending you swinging. So
man, exactly.
Don't get on the swing. Take your time, man.
All right, salute.